Hello, everybody. This is Purge bringing you a special thing today. I am going to announce in just a second, but for now, I'm going to give you some announcements. First off, thank you everybody for the really good support. I really appreciate all the positive comments that I've been receiving. And yeah, it's really great. I'm really happy with the way the channel's going. I wish I didn't have to have these crappy black bars on the side of the screen, but it's the only way I've found so far to get rid of the flashing black shit that happens towards the bottom of the screen. So fortunately, that's just how it goes. I might just have to put up with it until Dota 2 comes out. Hopefully, it's not too horrible. But yeah, so this game is my attempt at getting into Dotacash in-house league. So I had to sign up for this like 4 or 5 days ago. I put my name on the slot. I got here 30 minutes early, and then some other guy was like, "Hey, I want a captain," and then they swapped me out of captain spot. I was like, "What the hell? I've been here way longer than anybody else." I was there like, I was the first person to get on vent after the moderator. Who is bacon and cheese. I looked at his stats. He has really, really great stats. But the way this works is you have to confirm that people are good to get into this in-house league. And I mean, it's mainly for captain's mode games. So the initiation is a captain's mode game. Um, but oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention to this chat before. No tier 3. I was busy looking at other stuff, so I just didn't respond to that. But he ended up swapping me up to Sentinel team to pick for them. So I was happy with that because I was kind of looking at or also trying out. Yeah, I was not reading that stuff. I was way more concerned with who to ban, who to pick. I'm surprised you can't see the other picker. It was Final Boss, I believe. Yeah, pink right here. Final Boss. He was the picker. He was a good player. Honestly, I looked at the stats for all the players beforehand, and I was generally disappointed. I saw a lot of easy mode games. I saw a lot of people who were breaking over 1300 ELO, and their KDs were in the 1 range. Usually, some of them were like barely over 1, and then you look at their 2-2 stats, and they're horrible. And I was like, well, okay, I guess there's gonna be a bunch of noobs in this game. But surprisingly, everybody performed at least halfway decent. Generally good. Some of the bans, I wasn't completely expecting a Syllabear ban. I think he's one of the heroes that is not worth the ban on. He's not worth banning against casual players. Against pros, yeah, they use Syllabear great, but against casual players, he's not that obscenely like beast. So, Chen ban. Some guy said later on Vent. Isn't pushing strats really popular now? And I haven't seen that, but maybe it is because the Final Boss player, he banned Chen and another pushing hero later, which I guess it'll just be a surprise. I'm going to speed this up just a little bit because, well, you know what? I'm going to savor the moment now. Oh yeah, so I should be talking about the reason I'm showing this to you. No, I'm not showing this to show off. We got raped in this game. We got absolutely raped. And what's important to look at is you need to be able to look at your faults, why you lost, why you got raped. These are very important tools to learn when you're learning Dota. Most people are just going to rage at their teammates. That's all they're going to do. They're just going to yell. They're going to be like, oh, well, obviously it wasn't my fault. Like, I mean, who plays perfect? Nobody plays perfect, pretty much. So it's like real lame when people just blame other people. So we first picked Pugna. I think Pugna's a strong hero. I think it was a little premature because you kind of want. I don't know. It's hard to say. I'm still pretty new to this picking thing. The Lich really shut us down. Next game, I probably would have banned Lich instead of this Doom here. Shadow Demon's worth banning in my opinion, but I think the Lich ban is. I've played a lot of games against good Liches lately, and it just like really screws up the game. So I'm gonna probably start banning him if I do picking. ESCM Windrunner. Fob did a lot of recommendations. Jihoon was really good. I respected him a lot. He dislikes support, which is fine. God, I didn't even read most of this shit, honestly. I was just like watching the timer and looking at my piece of paper that had all of the like popular bands and picks. CM ES Trilane is pretty safe. That's the reason I picked this. And we're gonna have a Pugna solo, and then we're looking at a third Trilaner, possibly a carry, and then a very strong solo hero. So, I'm gonna speed this up just a little bit. And this is going to be sped up later. I really don't want to spend too much time on this. Hopefully, I don't exactly want to make like a 2 or 3 part series of how bad we failed, but I think it's important to look at this. This is going to be me learning and me talking at the same time. So we have a Shadow Fiend pick. It's going to be the third solo. Now we have 2 sets of bans following up. Visage ban, I don't know if it's as popular as it used to be. Pugna wins against SF. Kind of. It's not a bad matchup at all. I think it's pretty even. Not sure if he wins particularly. And here we go, cutting into my pick time, banning the A. Yeah, I didn't really want to fight against an A, but I don't know if it was. Fabi talks a lot. I don't know if he's the best player, but he had pretty decent advice as a whole. Alchemist ban, he's another pusher. I mean, look at this. They banned 3 pushers here. 3 really big pushers so far. I mean, Alchemist is like a carry pusher, but I haven't seen anyone even use Alchemist in a while. I think he's kind of coming out of favor. I mean, but look at it. This is the way that Dota works, is especially I can't comment on the absolute top pros, which is such a ridiculously small percentage of, yeah, and then the Husker ban, I was like, what the hell, Husker Chen? I was really surprised. But Husker is potentially good. Anyways, at the very top levels of Dota, there's going to be, yeah, sure, there's going to be heroes that are better than others, but if you're anywhere below that, like, 1%, it's generally about teamwork, and it's not, I mean, the picks and the bans aren't ridiculously important. They're important, but they're not ridiculously important. So we picked a Morphling to finish off our tri-lane, and this is the first reason that we failed, that I failed. I screwed up this game because I picked this tri-lane. This is a tri-lane that is semi-good, but it's very defensive. The killing power, it's defensive and possibly killing. It has killing potential and it's defensive, but the killing potential is like a one-shot thing. The harass from this lane is a CM who has a ranged attack and a Morphling who has a 350 that's not going to be harassable, and an ES who is melee. That's not going to be harassable basically. So as a result, we have a tri-lane that can play defensive and can compete against another tri-lane, but they're not really going to be able to score major kills. So they ended up dual laning us. They have a tiny bottom and a lich bottom. I was just looking at the posts for this guy's voucher quest, and someone pointed out that he only plays tiny SF and like one other hero. And I looked at his stats, and he has ridiculously good stats, and he is ridiculously good at tiny and very, very good at SF. I haven't seen him play in SF, but I'm sure he's very good at him. And those are the 3 heroes he plays. So this is what he did when he picking teams. He picked the team specifically so that he could play tiny, and he would have a situation in which he could have very good farm and still get good levels as a tiny, which is why he's put a lich bottom. Very good idea from this guy. He canceled all pushing lineups, and he went for a really hard farm build, basically, for tiny that's going to get him to a blink dagger really fast, and then he's just going to fucking one-shot all of our heroes. Because another disadvantage of my picks, all of our heroes can get one-shot by tiny. We don't have any like strength supports other than ES, but let's be reasonable. He's not that useful. And I'm just going to kind of check out this tri-lane. Just quick action. I was soloing top against the Lifestealer and the Venge, which is a pretty safe lane. One mistake I had, in my opinion, is I had a CM on my team, but I went fast Basilius. I don't know if it was completely worth it, and I was a little cold and jittery because I was nervous for some stupid reason. So here I was, last hitting subpar. But I mean, I'm last hitting against a Nyx, a Lifestealer with a Quelling Blade. So like, and he already has much bigger base damage than me. So here I am, possibly having to be careful. So predominantly I was just harassing. So that's how I was playing this game. We have a Pugna mid versus an SF. SF is a very good player. He played very well on my experience. And I just kind of want to watch this tri-lane to see if there's anything. I mean, if I could blame a player. I'm not going to be looking for that specifically. I don't want to blame someone else, but I just want to see if my tri-lane was as bad of a fail as I theory crafted it to be after the game ended yesterday. That's all I thought about. I was like, wow, our tri-lane was semi-bad. That wasn't very good at all. I agree with, someone made a comment about this ward. I think it could have been better placed, maybe right here or something, or maybe drop like a ward here and then put the next ward here. But I mean, it's fairly unorganized captain's mode game, so it's not going to be super well planned out. We all kind of rushed to lane, or at least I did. Not bad on Pugna. He's going to be a little careful here. I'm going to expect a bottle out of him. That's really what you should do if you go Pugna mid, if you get the pick on him, and then you got to gank with him. So I think Pugna had weak ganks. I can't believe I missed that. Pugna had weak ganks during this game, and as a result, we didn't really get to push the advantage of having this hero. That was our first pick, for God's sakes. Like, you have to make something happen. So a little bit of pressure, and Morphling's probably farming good. He mentioned he hit all CS. Yep, he's tied for the lead right here. I still have 0 CS. Like, I was like, holy shit, I cannot believe I don't have CS yet. It was really bad. I was very fucking disappointed with myself, honestly. I just couldn't outlast hit this lifesteal though. It's not easy, honestly. Venge was playing like a sissy the whole game. He just sat back, basically. That was definitely subpar on his part, I believe. Alright, the one disadvantage of Tiny is his 0 armor, honestly. Very little agility, pretty low intelligence. Oh, there's the bottle, cool. Okay, he did get a bottle, nice. A little bit of a misplay on his Nether Blast. He missed the SF there, and here he is taking a lot of damage for an extra CS, a little weak. First blood going down, picking off the Lich, so nice play by our tri-lane. Go tri-lane, woo! Even though I know what's going to happen in the end. Nice job. So the tri-lane getting the first blood, that was cool. I knew that happened. And here I am just doing some more harass. As you can see, I got their HPs fairly low. I don't think I just got a CM aura, so now my mana is actually pulling up, and I just canceled his clarity, or his salve right there, to get his HP down a little bit. But as a whole, I was going to back off, not really worth pressuring this super hard. Here comes the Decrep Blast, putting some semi-decent damage. He does have a haste rune, so that's cool. He's got the rune. So far, so good. Yeah, honestly, I obviously couldn't pay attention to any other lanes. This is the first time I watched this. He's going to go for some pressure, see if he can do any... Damn, that was pretty bad. That was pretty bad. Missed a blast. How do you miss a blast? Come on, man. Can't miss blasts like that. I mean, he's just playing really close to the Shadow Fiend. He's letting him get hits on him. I mean, what was that? Why would you run up there to CS and then fail it? Like, that's really sloppy play by Pugna right there. Not too happy with that. And here I am CSing. I got my Basilius finally. How many CS do I have? 3 CS. Hot damn. Little bit of miss CS. So I did have chances to finally CS. Once I got close to the tower, they were doing a little bit of pathetic pulling, I have to say. ES is doing some roaming here. He has the Invis rune. I'm gonna see. I was explaining this after the fact. I want to see how this works out. Okay, really bad blast there. Once again, bad blast. Level 2 fissure on Earthshaker. Hopefully they can make something happen here. I'm gonna wait this out. He mentioned that Pugna was misplaying this big time when he had the Invis rune. And alright, let's see what's going on. Alright, so look at this. He keeps nuking waves. He knows ES is sitting right fucking here with an Invis rune, and he's nuking the waves and pushing the creeps towards SF. And now ES is like, oh, there goes my... I mean, he sat there with an Invis rune, and he didn't get a kill. Like, that's like a guaranteed kill against an SF. Decrep, blast, and AoE, and attack him like 2 times, and he's gonna die, probably. Unless he gets really good bottles off. So here's my first big misplay of the game. I was not paying attention, and here comes a stun on him, and I couldn't see lifesteal at that time, so I didn't know if I could follow up or not. So I was going to try to work around to see if I could get any shots off. And here I go. Saw the VS, dropped the nuke down on him, saw low HP heroes. Here comes the stun, a little short. Wow, that would have gotten a kill. Really tough. A little bit of... I messed that up, honestly. Biggest mistake, or the first big mistake in my game, was not paying good attention. I was focusing way too hard on CS, so I totally missed that. Tiny Lich lane is going pretty semi-decent. Harass is doing good on Tiny. How's our CS on Morphling? 21 CS, just as good as the Shadow Fiend. Tiny's at 15, which is pretty high, and I'm just below that. So really, alright, they have 16 here from next, so they're definitely out CSing our team. No, you know what, our team is really, games are really even in CS right now. It's really not that ridiculous. SF saw him, got wards up, no wards right here. If there's no wards up, we knew SF was bought with regen, and here's Pugna, middle, miss raises on the Nevermore, a little sloppy on that Shadow Fiend. That was semi bad miss raises. And here's a little bit of pressure on the Morph. Nice dodge on the Avalanche, so he's not taking a lot of damage here. But bam, getting stuck. He just got his treads. But not a big deal. He totally dodged the stun. so not a huge deal. As long as he doesn't toss you in that avalanche, that's really what does most of the damage. Putting down some arrows up top. I do have the mana regen now. I wish I harassed a little bit more, but looking back now, my mana was semi